and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so just in case you missed it, I post a message on Canvas regarding the video that's a year ago on homework, your homework 7, but over there you will see a lot of homework 6. So it provides, of course, high-level introduction about how search works, but it also provides some segment of code. So right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to tell you, sorry? Yeah. Oh, I think who is Bo Quang Fang? I think you haven't muted, so I was hearing some echo from your. Yeah, but your video is actually, you're not mute, your video, I think. From my screen, you're. Oh, you didn't join the audio? Okay, that's fine. I because I hear something. Yeah. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So so over here, that is a few video that talk about that. But right now, what I want to do is try to give you a little bit more help on the coding part. What I like to do is try to get started for some moment about I'm guessing what's your challenge or struggle at this moment for homework 7, a homework 7 search according to the room here in academic search, and then please provide me feedback. So I will be able to know what's your the part that you don't understand. So then we can move forward to those parts. Okay. So okay, let's first. You have my screen, so let me actually go to my code.
Are you test? Yeah, Zoom.
Oh, sure, of course. Of course. We're doing homework 7 here, just to let you know. Okay, doing the Zoom. Oh, okay. It's actually the program, the solution set is still 6, but shouldn't be. Oh, maybe I use okay, I'll do it here and then just do a reference implementation. I hope you can see my screen. So the part that you really need to worry about is HW7 server.cpp and look for search. Okay, this is the function that I basically provide some very high level guideline about what you need to do. Let me try to tell you the this might be the there in fact there are two different ways to implement the search. I'm actually going to teach you a way that I think is the simplest way to implement the search. So I'm actually going to actually just based on this, I'm going to update this a little bit. So number one, from the search clause, you probably know the search clause will looks like this. Let me actually show you what search clause looks like. If you go to your my client, here you will see your search clause JSON. So I can take a look at this. So the search clause is essentially this keyword Kira. I mean, you can replace the keyword whatever you want. Okay, but let's actually using this as example. So essentially here is you're trying to extract from this keyword JSON. Where's the keyword JSON? Is the search clause as the input parameter. And then you are trying to get this keyword Kira. Okay, that's the first step you need to do. Extract the keyword from the search clause. Okay, the second things you need to do is that now you need to search for the file. Now you need to reconstruct the file name for Kira. So let's actually take a look. What do I mean by that? Let's go to the server side. Okay, now I have to go to my solution because solution should have the if you look at the solution, there is a directory called OK. That's always, you should have this already in your reference implementation. If you go to the U key, if you actually done the update correctly, you should have a file called OK Kira.list. So now what you need to do when I say you need to reconstruct the file name for Kira, essentially you can use this keyword that you just extract from number one. And then you need to turn it into this file name here. This is the file name that you will have it, right? So the second one is you construct this file name. And you can see that what's in the file name, just for your information, is actually the post ID. Okay, it's a post ID. All right, so what you need to do then, the third step, on the server side, you need to fopen, means you need to open the file, which is under /OK/ this one, because the second step, this is actually from your second step, you actually get that file name and then you try to open it, and essentially you try to go for each of the line to go through the what I call post ID. Let me actually just copy what the post ID looks like right now. This is the post ID. In fact, this file has two post ID. That means you have two posts that's actually match the keyword. So this is the two post ID. Let me actually make this number 4, okay? I want to just make sure you know that this is each of the step, what I need to do. What is going on here? Okay. Okay, so now you go to this is a post directory from the file, right? From the file you open from the file in step 3. Okay, so now you actually get the post ID. So now the next one is for each of them, I will call it, now this is code for 4.1, means because this is for each of them, for each of the file, for each of the posts, for each of the posts, you're going to do the following. You're going to open the post file. First, open the corresponding post file. So for example, the first one is this one, example. This is the first post. Then the file name that you should open is that should be underscore, /posts/post, this ID.json. Okay, so you essentially have to create a file name. So you actually got the post ID. The second thing is you have to create a file name. So from here, you should be able to generate this one, right? From this line, you generate that file name, and then you just open that file name, fopen, that file name. And then you basically read the whole content. So this one, you actually use file to JSON. The facility file, what do I call file to JSON? Is that right? Let me actually check, where do I have file to JSON? Grab file -i file to JSON. Where am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong directory. Sorry about that. I should go to ecs36b 7. Yep, 2021 homework 7. Okay, the file to JSON is actually indeed included in post.cpp. This is my file to JSON. It's actually defined. Let me actually take a look at this very quickly. What is my file to JSON? Post.cpp. So my file. Okay, my file to JSON essentially includes, you see that, is a file name that you're going to open, which is the post. And then it will return, you actually include a pre-allocated memory space for JSON value. It's actually just basically take the file from the file name from I just provide. In that case, let me actually just show you what let me do this. Let me actually copy this piece of code, okay? So just so you know, this piece of code should be familiar to you. We use this code from time to time, okay, to do that. And let me get rid of this, forgo. Okay, so essentially the code we're using is using this code called myFile2JSON. myFile2JSON, SON is capital. So this code, the prototype is integer. myFile2JSON. This is in post.cpp. You don't need to write the code is provided to you, but it's actually help you to provide this file name, and then you can actually convert it, deliver that file to a JSON value object. Somebody has a question. I hear somebody saying something. Okay, all right, probably it's just somebody forgot to mute. All right, so far we're here. So we go through this, and then we go through this file name, we actually get this back, right? This is the one. Okay, so now what you will be doing is that, in fact, this JV pointer already give you a JSON representation about the post. Okay, here I said this is might not be the best efficient way of doing this, but this will work for homework 7. Just to let you know, this is the one simplest way for you to get down. At this moment, you actually don't need to do JDump. You just, because if you have like a one, you have like a 2 object you need to do. So here is already have a JSON value that this part is the result that you're going to provide for that particular post. So what you need to do, the next one, is that you have already go through all of them, go through every single one, in this case 2. So every time you actually put it to have a new post, which is in JSON format, you actually insert the JSON to the JSON array that you need to return to the client program HW7 search. So essentially, just to let you know what the format should be looking is the one you return to the search TURN is an array. An array is basically a JSON as well, because JSON can be an array, can be object, can be anything. So the format will looks like this. The array, JSON array looks like this. And the first key value pair is data. Let me see. Does that make sense? No, actually, I'm wrong. Sorry, there is no array here. The array is actually here. So the format of the return should looks like this. And then this is an array. An array will have multiple elements. In this case, I have 2 elements. And then I have count. Count, and then this count is 2. So that should be the result that you're going to return. And this part, I was just using this one is a post 1, because I have a 2 posts. You're going to put the whole post as a JSON over here, and the second one is post 2. So essentially what you got from this JVPTR, you're going to insert it here to basically insert this into the array of JSON, and using just whatever the JSON library provide. This is pretty much like when you do the dump-J, because dump-J, when you dump the reactions, you basically construct the similar array, looks like this. Okay, so I'm actually going to just show you the code, how it runs, so you actually get the idea about what you will be looking at. So now I'm actually at this part. So I'm going to do a search. 7, sorry, my client. Okay, I'm actually going to do a /h6 search and search cloud. Oh, I didn't run the server, of course. Okay, I run the server and I do the search. Okay, so I'm actually going to save it so you can actually see the result. Let me actually check. What was my search clause? Did I search for Kira? Oh, AMG. I need to change that to Kira so I can get 2, so you can see the array. Maybe it's fine. It's just one element. It should be still array. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I will do this. I will save the result as EE. Okay. Now let's actually look at EE. And for you to see the result, you see that this is the result I got. The count is 1. and then the data. And inside the data, there's only one element because the count is 1. And this data is essentially you see there is only one element, and then this is essentially the post itself being encoded in a JSON. So that basically completes the whole picture. Essentially, this picture is the same as this one, I believe. If you go, sorry, Control C, you go to posts. If you go to the first, sorry. More post 279, is that right? Okay. See, this is the post that's actually in the file. So essentially, this post in the file get read in from file to JSON and just insert it to the array. And then I just insert multiple. If I have a multiple, if I have a 1, I just have 1. And then I basically send it back over here. So let me just show you the example if I have using Kira. This one is AMG. AMG only have a 1 post. So I'm actually going to do another one. Let me restart my server again. Okay, I restart my server and change my keyword to Kira. By the way, I forgot already why I have this keyword Kira AMG. It must be one of the students actually decide to do this. Okay, I'm going to do search. Again, I'm put into E2. Now I look at E2. You see that now I actually, the keyword is Kira, and then the count is 2. And now I have the first post, just like the first post you have. But then here you see that this is the second post. After the comma, there is a second post. Right, and then that's it, right? And so this essentially corresponds to what I'm talking about, the format is over here. I mean, you probably realize this already, that JSON, the key value pair, the order doesn't matter. So over here, I said data first and counts is second, but in the JSON to style string process, they probably use alphabetic order. So by the way, if you go to Facebook to download a post, it's always data first and then to count. If you go to real file, but when you do to style string, they kind of sort the key with the alphabetic order about the first character. That's why C comes first before D. All right, but they're equivalent in terms of JSON. JSON itself, the syntax or semantics has nothing to do with the order of the key value pair. Okay, in fact, post 1 and post 2 can be actually reverse order as well. It doesn't matter. It's equivalent JSON. That's kind of the flexibility and the beauty about JSON. It does, the order doesn't matter. Okay. All right. So after you insert everything, now you have done everything in the step 4. Now we'll go to step 5. Step 5 just return the JSON array. The array of JSON, I would say the array of JSON, but itself is a JSON. Array of JSON, post JSON, I should say, which itself is a JSON. And then to the search, and then you're done. Okay, so that's basically the simplest way. You don't even need to touch the post map. Okay, the reason you have post map is for you to be more efficient because everything in the memory, so you basically always bring it to the post map. You will later learn the concept called memory cache. So essentially you bring from the hard disk to the memory that you can actually construct this. And there's a few tricks that you can do. For example, the file might be itself is actually a shadow. This is way too complicated. You don't need to worry about that. For homework 6, at least homework 7, at least, is that when I pull, I mean, you can imagine the industry when they build the search engine, all the posts related might not be the same file. They might actually in different parts of the world, they have to pull it back together and construct a list and then send it back to the search engine. So that's why I'm not trying to tell you the most optimal way you can do this, but this is the simplest way. It works. And it's actually just deal with one single file directory called posts. Just OK and posts. If you have this two, you will be able to construct to fulfill the requirement for homework assignment number 7. Okay, I'm actually open for a question right now about homework 7. Any question? In the room or over Zoom? Anybody? You just remind you that you're all muted. So you have to unmute yourself, and let me stop sharing this. Anybody have any question? Okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording and try to convert that video to the to online, so everybody can take a look at this. Okay, but I'm gonna still keep this session open. Okay, keep this the Zoom. So you have any question, you can always come back. Let me just first stop recording.